Hello everyone, thank you for jumping on to watch the video today. Stick around, and what we're going to do is give you an update on what's been going on with us, some of our upcoming plans, as well as a word of encouragement from the book of Daniel. I think you'll really enjoy it. Just stick around for just a few moments and spend a little time with us today. Hello everyone, thank you for coming on today. Like I said, we're going to give you a little bit of an update of what's been going on with us, talk a little bit about our plans, and I want to give you an encouraging word from the book of Daniel. I think it'll really help you out, and I think you'll really enjoy it. It's been a little while since we've been able to come on and do a video, and part of that reason is I ended up having emergency surgery back in October. And it was a surgery that took a couple of months to recover from, to get back to some sense of normalcy. And to even begin preaching took maybe a month or so after the surgery. So yeah, it was a pretty major affair, and it has really interrupted what we were trying to do in putting out consistent material. But that's okay. God knows all things. He knows all plans, and He had His hand upon me in every step in what we were facing with that. But that's been a little bit of what's going on, but it's not been all bad. We've also had some good things going on, trying to figure out how we want to manage some things at the church that we are so blessed to be able to serve and pastor. God has really poured into and poured out on us at Mill Creek Church of God. We've really seen some phenomenal movement within our finances and being able to pay off some land, to pay off some possessions that we had. We had purchased a van, some additional land, and we had a 10-year note on the land, 5-year on the van. We were able to clear both of them within 2 years. So it's been a little bit of a planning stage there to try to figure out what's next, because I'm not one to ever want to be just content when I know God has more for us to do and more people for us to reach. So we've just been a little busy with some things going on there. That's where we've been at. That's why there's been a break or a delay in new material being put out. But even in the midst of that, we have been working on some plans for what's next for Renewed Ministry. As I have told time and again, we are here to evangelize, to educate and equip, and in particular to equip pastors to be able to serve in their local context. And one of the things that we are planning currently is to do a pastors' conference in Pakistan later in 2024. Now, these types of things are not able to be completed without support. We do have some support of our local church and some other donors, but we can always use all the support we can get. Traveling to these places to do these conferences can be very, very costly. It takes a lot of planning to be able to get that done. And I'm really excited, though, because on our next trip, and maybe next several trips, I have another minister that's wanting to start doing some missions work and travel with me. So I'm really excited about that. I just need your support and your help in being able to get that done. But we are planning to go into Pakistan. We are planning to do a pastors' conference of busing pastors into a centralized location to where we can train them and help them to be able to do what they need to do to be able to reach their communities for Jesus Christ, even in a Muslim country. It's a phenomenal thing to do. Missions is such a rewarding work, and I do ask that you would prayerfully consider helping us and keep us in your prayers. There is nothing that you can do that is any more beneficial than to continually pray that we can be effective in what we do. Now, let me give you a little word of encouragement. I did a short put up on YouTube and Reel and TikTok and all the different social media places, but I feel like I needed to spend a little bit more time talking about this encouraging word from Daniel. We're all familiar with the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These were three Hebrew boys that had found favor throughout life. Yes, I know that they had been taken out of their land, but once they were in the land of Nebuchadnezzar that he ruled over, they were elevated in position and in status. But they maintained, even through their elevation, they had maintained their commitment to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And through their commitment to their God, even though they had been elevated, they found themselves in a position to where they were being accused. Their accusations were being made against them of how they were trying to undermine and be rebellious against the king. And it says that Nebuchadnezzar, in a furious rage, this is in Daniel chapter 3, verse 13, in a furious rage is how the ESV words it, commanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought. So they brought these men before the king. And he asked him, he says, is it true that you do not serve my gods or worship the golden image that I have set up? And if you're ready when the sounds come on, then all is well and good. But if you don't worship, then you shall be immediately cast into a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you out of my hands? Friends, I believe that we have a lot of people within the church world that are in this same kind of situation. You have been faithful to God. You have found a life of favor. You have come to a place, though, to where you are also going to have to make a decision. The world wants us to bow before them. The world wants us to bow down to the agenda of the LGBTQ, of accepting fornication and adultery and alternate lifestyles, as they word them. And an alternate lifestyle, anything that is alternate to serving God, is an abomination before God. And we get to this place, though, to where we have to make this decision. Are we going to rest on our status and do what we are told to do by the world to maintain, or are we going to answer as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego did? And number one, the first thing that they did, they said, we have no need to answer you in this matter. Sometimes you just need to look at those that are trying to accuse you and trying to bring you down and say, we have no need to answer you in this matter. But they go on to say, if this be so, in other words, if you're going to cast us into the burning fiery furnace, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace. That's Daniel 3:17. And furthermore, not only will he deliver us out of what you're trying to put us into, but he will deliver us out of your hand, O king. But I love what they say next. You see, so many times in today's culture and in how we've been brought up in the church world, we are all about the miracle of God. And let me share with you what I told actually my church last night was this, that miracles are not for the believers. Everywhere you see in the New Testament, the miracle is to make people believe. It is not for the believer. In other words, miracles are done for the glory of God. They're not done for your comfort. And I believe Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego understood that from the very beginning, because they said, but if not. In other words, if God doesn't deliver me out of the fiery furnace, if he doesn't deliver me out of your hand, O king, that we will still not serve the gods or worship the golden image that you have set up. But if not, be it known to you, O king, that we're still not going to bow. Can I ask you today, do you have that same kind of faith and that same kind of confidence? Not that God is going to make your life comfortable and perform a miracle for you, but do you have the confidence in the supremacy and the sovereignty of God? And do you have a confidence that rests on the eternal hope instead of the temporal comfort? Friend, I encourage you today to stand on the eternal hope and the sovereignty of God above all else. You need to be able to turn around and look and say, let me tell you, if God doesn't do another miracle for me, if he doesn't deliver me out of another thing, be it known to you, O world, that we are still not going to serve your gods and worship at the alternate lifestyles. We will take the trouble and we will live for an eternity with our God. Friend, I hope that encourages you today to just hold on. I would ask you also, pray for Renewed Ministries. Support us in this work if you feel led. But above all, be encouraged that God is eternal, he is sovereign, he is supreme above all. God bless.